Welcome back to CryptosRus. I'm George. We're all George. Welcome to another market open stream. The market bell is about to ring, and of course, today's main topic is Bitcoin. FOMC meeting is coming up. How will that affect Bitcoin going forward? How will it affect the US economy? And what about these bank collapses? Well, let's talk about all these things and more. And there's the market bell. Welcome, guys. Today is going to be a very entertaining day. In roughly 5 hours, we will get another FOMC press conference. And in 4.5 hours, we will know exactly how much the Fed raised the Fed fund rate by. Okay, so we got about a half day to go, and we've been waiting for this. Well, I haven't been waiting for this, but, you know, the market has been waiting for this. Wall Street has been waiting for this. So we will see if Fed Chair Powell does what everyone expects him to do, which is to raise the Fed fund rate by 25 basis points. At this point in time, is an 86% chance, although the chance of not raising or not going up went up a little bit. It's 14%. So now it's 14 to about 86. A little bit better than yesterday. I'm still clinging on hope that it is going to be 0, and that's it. No more. No more rate hikes. Okay? But we will see. Now, the reason why I think now even more people think that there will be another rate hike is this came out, unfortunately. I mean, it's good news, but I'm saying unfortunately because this is now ammunition for Powell to use to raise the rate. I mean, private payrolls, 80. Although I don't know. Again, I'm stumbling a little bit because there's a lot of good and bad, and also questionable things with ADP. ADP numbers are not like official numbers by the government. ADP is just, you know, they're a private company, right? And they report these payroll numbers. But we have seen in the past, they get revised like crazy all of a sudden, months afterwards. So you can't really expect this to be accurate. I don't know how you could have these payroll numbers get adjusted by hundreds of thousands months after the fact. Like they're just adjusted to fit a narrative, so to speak. And some people argue, well, that's the whole point of the jobs report, is to manipulate the market. But, you know, this one came in saying, well, last month, rather than have 133,000 jobs, we went to 296. That more than doubled the expectations. So maybe the estimate was just very wrong to begin with, whoever estimated. Or this is very wrong because it's really not that high. And months later, we'll see this get adjusted down. Maybe this is fitting the narrative like, okay, you know, there's a lot of jobs, so don't worry about the economy. This gives the okay to Powell to raise rates, right? So, again, this should be good. When you have a lot of Americans finding jobs, normally that's a good thing. But when it comes to rate hikes, it's a bad thing. Right? But also ADP itself is questionable. The last few months, I remember like December numbers and January numbers, they were adjusted by hundreds of thousands because I don't know why in February and March, all of a sudden they just, oh, we counted wrong or something. Like it doesn't even make any sense. So we got this morning. So I don't know if this is swaying Powell either way, but it seems like it should, because now this is showing that the job market is so strong and we're reversing and everything's looking good again, because last month actually it went down. Okay, so there's that. But of course, we got also banks. Banks still struggling. We're still coming off of First Republic. Jamie Dimon, of course, is trying to make everyone feel good about it, saying after JP Morgan's purchase, there will be no more bank crisis. It's all resolved, sounding a little bit like Jim Cramer, making a declaration that everything is okay. Is that really the case, though? Is that really the case? Yesterday, someone like PacWest, I was just going to say, someone like PacWest was down 28% yesterday. All of a sudden, their trading is halted. Why? Why is their trading halted? It's up 2%. There's no reason why it should be halted. Well, something's going on there. Something is actually going on right now as we speak. Are they being bought out by someone else? Is FDIC taking control? I don't know. There's no reason why trading should be halted 5 minutes in, in the day. I have no idea. But, overall, this is what's happening, all right? This is what's happening right now. You look at Bitcoin starting from even March. This is not going from beginning of the year. Beginning of the year, Bitcoin would be up like close to 100%. But even mid-March till now, Bitcoin is up 30%. And then you watch all these other banks, regional banks, collapsing. Down 45%, 50%, minus 63%, minus 65%. So is the banking crisis really over? Well, if you're asking Wall Street, the answer is no. No, they are shorting the hell out of these banks. People are taking their deposits. No one's really trusting the banks all that much now versus before. I'm sure there's a lot of people that still trust banks, rely on banks, but the confidence level definitely is going down. So is the banking crisis really over at this point? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say there's a lot more that's happening behind the scenes right now, including what may be happening with PacWest. There's no reason why this stock should be halted right now. So in another hour, maybe we'll hear why. Usually trading halted is like if you see a stock go down over 20% or something like that. Then it automatically, there's a circuit breaker that triggers and it kind of, stops halting for like 10 minutes or 15 minutes before. But there's no reason why it should be halted immediately 5 or 6 minutes in. So there's something big that's happening right now. A forced merger, FDIC takeover, something's going on right now. So, again, this is why we need to be in Bitcoin, okay? Bitcoin, you are your own bank. You don't have to worry about closures or seizures or anything else that's going on. And that's why Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy, they are winning at this point. This is a long interview, so I'm not going to play it. But Michael Saylor, he does a very good job at explaining MicroStrategy itself, their strategy, why Bitcoin is gaining confidence, right? But a lot of it has to do with banking. Weakness in banking. In the U.S., that doesn't come very often. Worldwide, yes, there's many parts of the world that you can't even get a bank account, okay? There's more people in Africa, for example, that has mobile phones than bank accounts, right? Think about that. And now they could turn that mobile phone into a bank. They could become their own bank and receive and transfer money worldwide instantaneously within a matter of minutes. Think about that. It's a very powerful network, the most decentralized network we have today. And you know what? I'm glad to see that we're getting more and more attention worldwide, but also in the U.S. as we see more and more bank weakness. All right, so what else is going on? Well, the miners that are securing the network, making the most decentralized, the most secure network on the planet, well, they earned $50 billion worth of rewards in the form of Bitcoin since 2010. $50 billion. That's a lot. And that number will continue to climb because most of them have not sold off the Bitcoin that they have been rewarded with. They're holding on. So as Bitcoin gets higher, right, if Bitcoin goes up to 60,000 or even from this point, around 50-something thousand, well, then the rewards go up to 100 billion automatically, right? Most of these miners, they only sell off the bare minimum to pay for operations, but they're holding on vast majority of what they have mined, right? So these miners are not going away anywhere. And this is a great incentive for miners to continue to stay in the game, to power the network, and it's fantastic all around if you think about it, right? Now, of course, Bitcoin's current trajectory right now, looks like this on a shorter time frame. You know how I talk about the next leg up, people might not quite understand what that means. Well, this is exactly what it means. You have Bitcoin jump up to a certain level, kind of stay there, go sideways a little bit, and then jump up to another level, stay there, and then jump into another level. This is what we have to look forward to as we're in this level right now, right around 30,000. The next one we're jumping into, probably mid 30s. And then the one after that, probably the mid 40s. This is kind of like how it is. We're following that, but of course, longer term, there's a lot of ribbons and moving averages and signals that, of course, showcase that Bitcoin is coming up from a bottom. And when it does that, it tends to stay there for a long time. We have moved into a new cycle. And eventually, where is Bitcoin going to top out? I don't know. It could be, if you look at previous cycles, the very first one, a 200x move. And then you had a 60x move. Then you had a 10x move. This time, maybe a 5x, 6x, 8x. Maybe not as high as 10x. And who's to say? Maybe we break that trend, we have a 10x. Okay, so who knows where Bitcoin will go? I would say probably a 5 to 6x from our current level, right? It would make sense, but who knows? When you have FOMO, when you have institutions coming in, you have countries adopting Bitcoin, you have so much utility that's also coming. You even have new standards coming. For example, I saw this. You know, I'm not too familiar with it, but you guys heard of ordinals, the NFTs that's on top of Bitcoin. Guess what? Now there's a token standard too for meme coins as well. It's called BRC20. It's a copy of ERC20. But now you have meme coins on top of Bitcoin as well. And volume is exploding, not only because of meme coins, but ordinals, NFTs. So you even have new utility that's coming out for Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin maxis will probably not like that. Because they want Bitcoin to be pure, being a store of value, a medium exchange, not to be, a hub for meme coins, right, or NFTs, because they consider those like degen kind of plays, right? But nevertheless, it's coming, it's driving volume to Bitcoin, adding new utility to Bitcoin, and really, you think about it, Bitcoin maxis should cherish this because this takes power away from something like Ethereum. Then you can make an argument, why do you need Ethereum when you have our own BRC20 standard and you can have meme coins and NFTs, right? It decreases the notion that you need another chain, right? So if you think about it that way, Bitcoin maxis should be supporting this. But, you still have more stuff that's coming. That's why it's still very early. As big as Bitcoin is, still very, very early. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Overall today, I think it's a slight update. I think everyone is waiting to see what Powell says later today. Right around 1:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, I'll be streaming with you guys once again. We will be listening in on what this guy says. The rate will be out half hour beforehand, but what people are looking for is during the Q&A what he's going to be saying, if he's going to be hawkish or dovish. I would say every single one so far, even though he has been giving dovish tones, he still comes off very hawkish. So you have to read in between the lines and really study what he's saying, because no matter what, he wants to maintain this hawkish tone, I guess, okay? But the underlying message is dovish. And today will be interesting because First Republic just went under. Last time he did this, it was like SV Bank that went under, right? He can't be ignoring all these banks going under. So it'll be very interesting today. All right, let's do some Q&A. I'll leave this up. All right. Let me see if I missed anything. Still scrolling. I heard a lot of people say that that they want to see me interview Jim Cramer. I would love to do so. Jim Cramer is a legend. Just not too good with some of his predictions, but then again, I haven't been good with all my predictions either. So, but it'll be interesting to talk to Jim. Very interesting indeed. Or Michael Saylor or any of these big guys, get their honest views about what's happening right now. Let's see. The law of diminishing returns, yes. As the market gets bigger, you're not going to see the same kind of returns, of course. All right, what else? Do you think the FOMC news has been priced in? If it's just 25 basis points, I think it's already priced in. But like I said, it really depends on what he says during Q&A. You know, people want to know if he's turning dovish, if there's an end to the rate hikes, right? What his feel, how he feels about the bank crisis, all that stuff. People want to really hear that. That's why the Q&A section is so important. Not so much a rate hike, because at this point there's almost no surprise. Today the surprise would be if it's 0, but most likely it's 25 basis points again. Who will be on the spaces tonight? I'm still trying to solidify it. Unfortunately, a lot of these meme coins, they don't care, or they don't have, or their founders are anonymous and they have no interest of debating in the spaces. And even Floki didn't respond back with who they're going to come in with. So I don't know. Today might be kind of flaky. Maybe I need more time to try to organize these. But we'll see who I can invite to spaces tonight. Make sure you follow me on Twitter so you guys can see. I have Bags of Gala on Ledger and Coinbase. I have to move them both to Ledger. Okay. Thanks for that statement. V Neil, that will be tonight. Hopefully I can still get it going. It'll be 6:30 p.m. So roughly a couple hours before my night stream. Hopefully we can get that going. Hopefully I can still get one more major meme coin to come aboard. This new YouTube layout, yeah, like the live chat thing got really big again. I kind of agree with you there. Yeah, the Sue coin came out today. Created by some ex-Facebook guys. I don't know. The amount of hype there is around it reminds me of Aptos. When Aptos came out, same thing. Very hyped up. I mean, it's still a very large market cap project, but Sue, reminds me of that as well. We'll see. We'll see how good it is. Ed says, I was a payroll manager. Lots of times, employees start working in the middle of the payroll period and don't get added to the system until the end of the period. Multiply that by thousands of businesses. That makes a whole lot of sense. But how does the payroll numbers go down? So you're saying in the middle of the payroll period, you got like half the people quitting at the same time? Because some of those adjustments by ADP is not just upwards. Some of them were downwards by hundreds of thousands. So again, you know, I don't know. This is too off. The previous month, the previous month before this was less than half. It was expected that in April it was going to be 133,000, and you got 296,000. I don't know if I can believe that. That's not even double. That's more than double than expectations. So something's really wrong. Expectations, whoever was making the estimate was obviously either really wrong, or this number is really wrong and done so on purpose to give a case for Powell to keep raising rates. I don't know. The market is predicting that this will be the last rate. Yeah, but it's changed. It's too early to make that call. So right now, this is what it looks like for today. This is what it looks like in June. So in June, right now, according to now, 25 basis point hike, 9%. 76% think that we will stay in June, and 15% thinks that we will cut in June. So it could be that we go up this month, and then come June, they will have to cut down. But regardless, this could be the last rate hike ever. But it's too early to make this call. I don't even know how they're predicting it for June already. What do you think will happen to VGX token? It'll go and disappear. They will shut it down. Johnny, thank you. I am doing well. Hopefully you are doing well as well. Downimoto says all these numbers they look at are either garbage or made up. They can't stick to a budget. Buy Bitcoin. Well, that sums it up pretty nicely right there. Patrick, I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm also glad to hear that you're back almost to being a whole coiner again. Whole coiner, there's not too many around, so congratulations. Becoming a whole coiner is a big accomplishment. I mean, just think about it, really. It's so hard for anyone to dish out $28,000 to buy a Bitcoin right now. I mean, it's just, most families are living paycheck to paycheck. They can't afford this. Even to buy 0.1 Bitcoin, even to spend $2,800 to buy 0.1 Bitcoin is very difficult for most on this planet, let alone just in the United States. Even in the United States, most can't afford to do that. Are VeChain and Polygon still alive? Yes. The VV and OMI tokens have a future. I think they do because they own a lot of they have a lot of the IP, intellectual property, for a lot of these major brands and movies and stuff like that. But their token economics has always been a little bit weird. I'd say not optimal, but and, you know, they suffer through like a hack, and their marketplace was closed before. I mean, there were some things that needed to be fixed, but I think the licensing will carry them far. I did watch the full Lakers game yesterday. I have not watched a full game for a long time. And yesterday, the Lakers were on display. Golden State, you got to give them credit. They came back. They can always come back because they can shoot wild threes everywhere and make them. But when they can't make those threes, they are dead in the water. They are built for just threes. That's it. Steph got blocked like 10 times trying to score inside. Davis was a monster. And then LeBron did his thing. But, man, everyone else on the Lakers, they're so good as role players. Schroeder is awesome. Vanderbilt, crazy with his D. And then Reeves and, who's the other guy? The other point guard. D'Angelo Russell. Russell had some big shots, too. They're so cool and collected. Man, the Lakers, they're going all the way. They're going all the way. They're not being stopped. Man, they're really good right now. E3 Kids Dad. Is your clips channel clips of this channel, or do you make different content? A little bit of both. Mostly clips of these long streams that people can't watch, but also we'll be making more content on them so that they're kind of exclusive for the clips channel, shorter content. So, yeah, it's going to be a mix. Yeah, I mean, if Davis plays like that and he doesn't get injured, he's like the best. He's like the best in the league. He's better than Giannis. Giannis just, you know, he has more heart, but Davis has so much more skill than Giannis. It's not even close. But Davis, he gets injured way too much. Sometimes his heart just isn't there, right? But if LeBron can train him to get that heart, like to really want it, I mean, he will be unstoppable for the next 4 years at least. Job numbers may be correct. What did they not say is 2 to 3 jobs per person, just put food on the table. That could be true, but I don't know how accurate that is. Dan says 10K in BTC, 20K in top 10 alts. Should I trade all my alts and be a whole coiner? No, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. You look at your portfolio app, like I use Delta Investment app. It'll tell you what your whole portfolio is worth in Bitcoin, so you don't have to convert it, right? But you got to make sure that the total value in terms of Bitcoin doesn't go down because your alts are struggling against Bitcoin. I feel like people that make fun of LeBron, like some of you guys are here, right? Because of the fact that he's so damn good, you have to try to pick on something. Or you're trying to defend Jordan. It's one of the two. But if you step back and realize that you got a guy that's been playing for 20 years in the league, that's 38, that's still considered probably top 7 player in the league, and I mean, if you take that into account, there's no one that can accomplish what he has without being one of the greatest, if not the greatest of all time. But all the haters, because they're haters, they can't stand how good he is or how much he has accomplished, will continue to hate and try to defend someone else. But I used to be like that. And if you actually step back and realize that's stupid, enjoy LeBron while he's still playing, because he will go away, and I don't know who the new face of the NBA will be, because there's no one. There's no one that's like anywhere close to being the new face of the NBA. Stephen Jordan, appreciate that. Stephen Curry is already going downhill. I'll guarantee you Steph Curry won't be playing at this level when he turns 38. That's for sure. Jimmy Butler is also starting to go downhill. After these guys turn 30, they start going downhill real fast, right? That's the thing. You see people hitting 34, 35, they're done. They're out of the league. Their body just fails. They can't compete. Very little guys have puts up productive numbers after like 34, for example. That's just reality. Doesn't it seem like skill level increases with each generation? Yes. Yes. Obviously, before, it was a lot more physical. You could get away with hand checking and knocking people to the floor without incurring a flagrant. But the skill level today is 10 times higher than 20 years ago. You just look at the guys. Just look at the guys that were on the Bulls team when Jordan was winning those 6 rings. Bill Wennington, Judd Bushler, Luke Longley, Dickie Simpkins, Ben Armstrong, not Ben Armstrong, BJ Armstrong. These guys would not be in the league. They would be playing the D League. I don't even know if they will be in the D League. Okay, like the league is so much different now. Yes, it's not as physical. Yes, they cater the rules to offense, not for defense. But the guys are so much more athletic now versus 20 years ago. It's not even close. All right. I guess that's cue to wrap it up. $30 years ago, 20. Oh, I guess that shows my age. Yeah, that was like 30 years ago. Kobe played like 20 years ago. Man, things are time flies. Time flies. Rodman Rodman, of course the elites like Rodman, he would do very well right now. He would still do very well. But he would not be able to get away with all the shenanigans he did back in the day. Green, people are saying Green was the next Rodman, but he's no Rodman. He's good, but he's no Rodman. And right now he's become worthless. Draymond Green is someone that his athletic level dropped off so much within the last few years, right? Again, proving how hard it is to play at a high level after you turn into your 30s, mid-30s. You just really start going downhill. So, but Rodman would be a beast. A prime Rodman in today's league would average like 20 rebounds a game. All right. Well, I'll see you guys at 1:30 p.m. Central Standard Time for this big press conference that's coming up. What's going to happen? Are we going to get another 25 basis points or are we not? Hey, actually, this not part, the percentage is going up. So maybe we will get a surprise, no rate hike, and that's it. I'm hoping so. All right, guys, smash the like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys later, 1:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Have a good one. Bye-bye.